Hi, readers. Welcome to Goddess Garden Book Chat. I'm so glad that you're here. And welcome to all those who are first time visitors or returning. If you're a subscriber, I so appreciate that you give me the time to tell you about some great things that are going on out there. This is a book club that is for adults who love a good novel, regardless of the genre, the weirdness, the planet it takes us to, or the openness we find on the pages. So, as a club, we want to definitely welcome you. We want you to be comfortable. We want you to be aware. Topics discussed in this book club include everything from basement dungeons to other worlds. I will read them all and share thoughts in this safe space. So, whether it's whatever time of day, wherever you're at, I'm glad that you're a part of the conversation. I invite you to join me on my social media pages that I've listed below. If ever you want to see other episodes that I've done for other books that I've talked about, or indulge in the deep dive, definitely check that out in these spaces that are listed below. And I always do a design. Thank you, Midjourney. Thank you, Canva, for creating and bringing my ideas to life, where I get to share in some great things that I show to you. They sort of represent how I view the book. Um, and it's like I always say, there's something for everyone. And this has been my creative journey infused with the books that I enjoy. And so I want to share with you what I found for us to enjoy today. Now, today we're going to do a dive into The Five Broken Blades by May Corland. It is narrated by Donald Chang, and it's also narrated by Greg Chun, Zion Jang, Sophie Oda, Jaine, and Roger Ye. This book is 474 pages long. It came out in May 2024, and that's pretty much when I read it. Uh, it was actually a recommendation as I looked through my Goodreads, what other people were reading or what it was recommending, what the algorithm sort of had going on. And I saw this and it really intrigued me. I realized this is a two-book series, maybe more, but I'm on the beginning of this journey and I'm here for the ride because let me tell you, it is worth it to be here. So I'm going to introduce you to the characters. There is Sora, who is a poison maiden, a phenomenally beautiful girl put through nearly a decade of poison training. There's Royo, who is rough around the edges. He's muscle for hire. There's Ewan. He's an exiled prince and brother to King Jun, who sentenced him to die. Ugh, such an awful story. Then there's Mikhail, who is a charismatic royal spy master and Yoon's lover. And there's Ari, who's a clever thief. There's Beishin, the mastermind. There's Quilamar, the queen. And of course, the last character is Tai Young. Tai Young is a nobleman whose father controls Sora. Now, these individuals are tasked with doing something that is considered nearly impossible. Everyone wants the king dead. And so they have come to the five most well trained and most effective assassins to make that happen. And as they embark on this journey from different points to all arrive at the same place, they pair off in a way where Sora and Taeyong are a pair, Ewan and Mikhail are a pair, Ari and Royal are a pair. Um, but Royal's not there to necessarily kill the king. He actually accepts being a part of this quest because he's there to protect Ari. And so, in doing so, he finds once he meets Ewan, he has a way to bargain for something that he wants, that matters to him, why he's doing all of this. This book is 86 chapters long, but it is well worth it. It is love, it is friendship, it is quests, it is lies. and it is the season for treason. That's actually in the synopsis quote. The king of Yusan must die. So here's a little synopsis. It's sort of an edited version. And I think it really does encapsulate what this book is about because I don't want to give any spoilers away because it's in the journey that they all take and as they come together that you really start to see why this is such a rich tale. So let me give you the synopsis. The five most dangerous liars in the land have been mysteriously summoned to work together for a single objective to kill the god King Jun. He has it coming. Under his merciless immortal hands, the nobles flourish, while the poor and innocent are imprisoned, ruined, or sold. And now each of the five blades will come for him. Each has tasted bitterness, from the hired hitman seeking atonement, a lovely assassin who seeks freedom, or even the prince banished for his cruel crimes. None can resist the sweet, icy lure of vengeance. They can all agree on murder. They can also agree on treachery, because this is treasonous what they're all embarking on. But the five killers, each versed in deception, lies, and betrayal, decide it's what they're going to work with. But it really isn't enough to forge a strong alliance. That will make sense later. If they survive and they find a way to trust each other, then things could be different. But only one of these individuals can take the crown, and taking the crown is pivotal to beating the king, because he is an immortal, and that crown is very connected to his immortality. So this is where let the best liar win this race, because as they are sort of converging and understanding that they're all on the same mission, they are working as teams trying to accomplish a goal. And there are lies within even these pairings that are so deep and so intrinsic. You gotta read this book. It is so good. I think if I had to say what was the main idea or the plot, is that it's in the quest. To read a good quest journey and watching the characters converge on the central capital after they conspire to end the king and after the journeys that they each take is just done beautifully and masterfully. It may be considered a romance by some, but I don't really consider this book to be a romance story. And I think that even though the main character and love have an interesting story as the crux of this whole journey, what really is pulling the strings is the better tale. I think that's going to really shape how, in my hopes, book two is going to shape up. It merges the genres of fantasy and romance very well. And it's romance between just the idea of being free of this awful person. Romance where you're not just used as a tool by the king, at his whim. So everyone is courting the desire to see this whole mission succeed, and you want them to succeed. I see a lot of modern society in these pages because it makes me feel like it's a mirror of privilege manipulation. And that will make much more sense to you should you chance reading this book. But you really do get a sense of that because it sort of makes sense to you how this kingdom lays itself out. My favorite quote from the book: I die a hundred times to kiss your lips. Let me repeat that because I sort of fumbled the ball on that one. I die 100 times to kiss your lips. That is so powerful because remember, we are dealing with one of the assassins being a poison maiden. And to have someone love you despite everything about you being toxic is just so darn heartwarming. I just don't know what to say. Anyway, let me get to the creative value is outstanding. And when I say world building, I can see this journey in my head even now as I talk about it. It was a fantastic read, and I would give it an absolute ovation. It is a 5-star, hands down, great time. So if you get a chance to enjoy this story, please do so. And I hope that you'll enjoy looking over the many reviews that I've offered so far because there's so much more to come. I have been reading my entire life, and I am so excited to share with you how these books have impacted me, how these stories have shaped me. Quick side note, I even went back and read James and the Giant Peach because I remember that being such a great story from my childhood. Yeah, no. How about the first 4 chapters? But we'll talk about that. Don't want to get distracted. Hopefully, you'll enjoy what we have here today because it is definitely worth it. So, I'm going to close with us leaving with a focus on what books are out there and return with a great read. So, get your bookmark out, and we're going to close this chapter. And until we meet again, my friends, I'll see you at the bookstore or at the library or online on Discord or wherever it is you decide to join me. Have a great one.